What is up, YouTube? Right now we are outside of the Judson House
in Waterford, PA.
If you don't know what the Judson House is, this house is over 200 years old, and it's got a lot of history, to say the least. And we also got Eagle Hotel over here. We'll be checking that out tonight as well. So we're going to be doing some investigations of this place. We're going to learn a lot about the history here and maybe see something a little spooky along the way.
I hope so.
Maybe. I hope you guys are as pumped as I am. I've heard so many things about this place. I never got to go inside it. Amanda's super psyched.
Yes.
We're talking top to bottom here, and same with the Eagle Hotel next door, top to bottom. We're gonna search the whole thing. It's gonna be pretty crazy. It's gonna be a long night, so let's get into this.
Hey, hi, my name's Heidi. This is the Amos Judson House. That part of the house was built in 1810. And this addition here that we're standing in was put on in 1820. It's over 200 years old. It's in pretty good shape. It's still pretty level, and we have some things going on here and there, but that's normal for a house that's 200 years old. Amos Judson built the house. He made sure the doorways are wide enough to bring his casket in. He knew that this was his home, this is where he was going to be, this is where he was living, where he was going to die, where he was going to have his funeral.
These are absolutely huge doorways.
Yes,
that is no lie.
And these doors are either called biblical doors, Christian doors, or cross and Bible, because you have your crucifix here and your open Bible on the bottom. We have our formal dining room. This dining room, we are pretty sure that there is a child in here, a very playful one that will interact with you. A lot of people really love this wreath. It's a hair wreath. Those were made back in Victorian times. It's made out of hair, and it won a prize at the State Fair in 1878.
What? I've never heard of anything like that in my life. A hair wreath.
Yep, they made out of hair. They did a lot of things back then out of hair. They would make jewelry, brooches. Okay, now for the old kitchen.
Oh man, look at that.
Yes, I was told that sink and water pump were out here on the porch. If you come out here on the porch, you'll see that we have a well here. The well is still there, 16 feet deep. There's 20 inches of water in there. I was told that sink sat on top of this well, that's where they got the water.
Wow.
We call this room the children's room.
Oh wow.
It's because we have children's things in here. In here, we call it the fort room because we have the fort, the replica of Fort LeBoeuf. In this room I avoid. This room has had some very strong EVPs out of it.
Oh,
I don't know who's here. I call him Grumpy Guy. I don't know who he is, but he seems grumpy.
okay. Wow. That is definitely something.
This staircase just goes back down to the kitchen where we were at. I put that mannequin down there at the bottom of the staircase only because I've had a lot of psychics come through here, and they keep telling me how there's a woman standing down at the bottom of the staircase, and she's all dressed in black, and she's just standing there watching over everybody. So I stuck a mannequin down there. Wow. But I've had, a lot of psychics tell me this, so it's like, okay.
So it's kind of like a representation of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. That's where it would spin it.
And then we call this the Lincoln room. Only because somebody put up a lot of Lincoln pictures in here. I don't know why we started putting up these pictures of Lincoln. He was never in Waterford.
Mm-hmm.
The only connection to Waterford and Lincoln is that he made Strong Vincent brigadier general while he was mortally wounded in Gettysburg. So maybe just somebody wanted to give a nice nod to Lincoln for that. I don't know, because when I joined the Historical Society, all these pictures of Lincoln were in here. So we just call it the Lincoln bedroom.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's still very cool, yeah.
This canopy bed is a rope bed.
Don't see a lot of those anymore. Incredible.
Be careful, there's no railing.
Okay. Oh wow, even this potato bag is very cool.
Be careful on the stairs.
Okay.
Like I said, there's no handrail.
Alright guys.
The foundation is really cool. The stonework is great. Dirty. We need some work done down there.
Alright, so right here we're taking a look at the basement during the day. We're definitely gonna have to come back here. Oh man. Looks like it's pretty dark over here.
I'll wait for you.
I'm excited to explore this at night. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I want to see if anybody wants to talk down here. For some reason these basements like to be a hot spot in places. Alright.
When the town was being laid out, Judge John Vincent talked about how human remains pervade the soil because there were so many human remains all throughout the place. As they were building the homes and digging out their foundations, they were digging them up all over the place. Well, there was also an old cemetery on the west side of town, on West 2nd Street. And it fell to ruin. It got pretty bad. I heard that it was flooding out a lot, vandalism, a lot of the headstones were knocked over and stuff. So they were going to move the old cemetery and put it in the new cemetery on the other side of town. I had heard that they moved the headstones and put them in the new cemetery, but they didn't move the bodies. And I thought, what is this Poltergeist movie? How ridiculous is this, Then I heard that they dug up the cemetery and they paved the streets and filled them up in the potholes with the human remains and the dirt and everything from the old cemetery. I thought, well, that's even more bizarre. So I thought I would look into this. So I started digging through old newspapers, and sure enough, I found newspaper articles from 1883 talking about how they dug up the old cemetery and paved the streets with the human remains. What I think happened is they tried to move the cemetery into the new one. They brought all the headstones over there that they had. This is 1883 and it was in August. It's probably hot. You got guys out there with shovels, digging these up. They don't know where they're buried. They didn't have steel caskets. It was probably pine boxes if they were lucky enough to have a pine box. Wow. It flooded out a lot. What they dug up, they were doing this by hand. And then in the newspaper, it talked about how the human remains were laying on the side of the road. Well, yeah, what else were they supposed to do with them? So they probably dug them up and trying to be as careful as they could, but by today's standards, it was sloppy.
Right.
But I think they did move them, but probably not every scrap of bone and everything went with it.
Yeah.
Right.
So then they probably used that dirt, because they did have dirt roads and potholes, of course, and then they filled it in. Some of the older people in town talk about how their parents and grandparents would talk about how they would find pieces of broken bone or broken jewelry in the streets. So I think they actually tried to move it. Today's standards, it was a sloppy job. Some people might think that maybe that's why all the hauntings are in Waterford, was because of that. Indians, we've got French soldiers, we've got British soldiers, we've got American soldiers. We got the first families that moved here. Some of the first families that moved here were part of the Fort Freeland Massacre. If you look up the Fort Freeland Massacre in Northumberland County, these people were massacred by the Indians. It was horrible what they went through there. And those people then, 16 years later, they came to Waterford. And I think when they came here, this was new. They were starting over fresh. They had hope, And I think they had such a love for this town. Maybe they're still here. I don't know. But you got a lot of, different layers of history, a lot of different kinds of people here. So you can get any kind of evidence, you don't know. Where the library is in the park, that was an Indian. burial mound. We do have that. We have it written that it was there, but we don't know what they did with it.
Wow.
What they did with the Indians that were buried in there, we have no idea what they did with them.
Jeez.
We know that there were a lot of them in the area. There were a lot of Indians here before even the French came in. You know, but who knows where they are.
Exactly.
You know, they didn't keep records of when they dug up the old burial mound, what they did with them.
Mm-hmm.
Alright guys, so we're just beginning our investigation in the Judson house here. It's just starting to get dark outside, things are calming down. It's basically silent here, besides any traffic going by. So we're gonna go ahead and check out the meter we got going on here. And then that's gonna let us know if there's any surge of any kind of electricity or energy, but it'll also give you temperatures there. And we've also got a spirit box. So if someone wants to communicate through that, we'll hear what they have to say. So let's get right into it and see what happens. That almost sounded like hello.
Oh, I just got 1.7 just now on the millimeter.
I'm gonna go around the desk of Amos here and buy a lot of your possessions. If you'd like to speak with us and say hi. Everywhere. I wonder if that's referring to his stuff being everywhere in here. It's everywhere. We heard you did a lot of great things for the city. That sounded like a very solid response. What was that?
That sounded like the same voice coming through twice.
We're gonna walk around these classic items here.
I also thought it was super weird that it seems like something pulls my hand away from it right here.
Would anybody else like to speak up? Is it okay that we're here trying to communicate? Is that a leaf right there? That almost sounded like leaf. I would assume that the spirits here for the majority are nice, but I heard there is a mean one upstairs.
Looking to see if this number is going to change at all. I mean, the temp is definitely fluctuating.
I mean, the temp's changing is definitely odd here as well because we're walking through the rooms here. You can tell it is pretty much same temperature all through this floor at least. There has been no change in the way it feels for us. I just shut the lights off in here in case that maybe makes you feel more comfortable.
It was over Christmas because it was still decorated for Christmas in here, and we had the furniture moved around. This couch was here, and there was a chair here, and I was sitting in the chair, and the other ghost hunters were on that couch and this couch, and they were doing an EVP session. And as we were sitting here, it started to sound like a whoosh, like a shh, like a whoosh sound, you know. And then it started sounding like birds chirping here. And then it turned into women talking. And it was all right here was the sound. It was like right here like in the center of the room. It was the neatest thing ever.
Wow.
You know, we didn't know where it was coming from. And I was sitting there and I knew it wasn't coming from behind me. And the guys were sitting here, they knew it wasn't coming from behind them. It was here. But it started like a whoosh, like a shh, and it turned into birds chirping and then women talking, and then it was gone.
Is somebody in here? We're experiencing a lot of activity over here. That sounded like spirit. That literally
just said the word spirit, I think.
Yes.
Like, do you have the spirit box on or something?
That's literally what it sounded like. It sounded like it said you have the spirit box on or something like that.
Yeah.
I have chills right now on my arm. That popped right through. That seemed definitely distinguishable.
Like a cool presence. I'm not
Do you
gonna
feel
lie.
that?
Yeah.
I absolutely felt something as soon as you said that. That is wild. I don't know what that almost sounded like some kind of laugh or something, but it was honestly a very creepy noise that just came through there. It almost sounded like it said secret.
Yeah.
Like it has a secret. Did it just say, "What do you want"? Did you hear that?
I heard
It almost sounded like it said, "What do you want?" very clearly, as if it's asking us why we're provoking the communication.
Do you think we should go upstairs?
We're in.
It sounded like that said, "We're in the room." It almost sounded like "We're in the room." Alright, so right now me and Amanda are headed upstairs. We're upstairs, we're in the children's room. It's called the children's room because there's children things in here. Anyway, there's said to be a lot of activity up here, as well as in this room, where you can see the big map and recreation of the forts. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we get anything up here. Was this your bedroom?
That almost sounded like a yes to me.
It did. It sounded like a yes and then something else in response. Hello? Would you like to speak with us? Wow.
Does it make you angry that we're in here?
Whoa.
That just freaked me out.
Whoa. It said yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Are you offended that we're trying to communicate? I've got chills right now. We're gonna move over to the next room.
It almost sounded like, hey, hold up. Freaking me out.
Yeah. Do you want us to go back in this room? Did someone just try to stop us? Alright, so we want to take a walk over here down the hallway where the library in Lincoln's room is. Now, I haven't heard of any or much activity in here that I remember, but haven't checked either, so really good activity anywhere in this house, that's for sure. there anyone in here? Someone. Someone. Who's that someone? I'm getting chills.
Did you say something about the Eagle Hotel?
I don't even know. Yeah, we're very close to the Eagle Hotel. It is across the street. What was that? That was a very dark, clear voice. It was very deep. Wow. Someone just said, hold on. Is there someone up here with us? Wow, it's getting active in here. Were you buried here? We're back on the first floor. Would anyone like to communicate? I don't know what that was. How old were you when you died?
20? Was it 20?
I definitely heard a response. I'm not sure. I almost thought I heard 48. Definitely have to look into that for sure. It's all about analyzing this stuff later, guys. We gotta see what goes on. Alright guys, here's my favorite part. We're gonna head down to the basement. Basements are always known for lots of activity. Not sure why. Maybe because it's dark and not a lot of people want to come down here. Maybe they feel peace here. Let's go ahead and turn the light up a little bit. There we go. So right now I'm just gonna do a walkthrough with the EVP on and just see if we pick up anything as we explore the basement here. Is there anybody down here? Does anybody want to communicate? If you're in here, make yourself known. Give us your name. Any kind of evidence. Wow, this is definitely a creepy basement, guys.
Yeah, it was huge.
Oh yeah, it's definitely big. I don't know how many people really go down here even. Heidi, who actually toured us around the... Hold on, I just heard something. Okay, definitely just heard some movement in here. I was just gonna say Heidi, who actually toured us around the place, did not go in here. So she said I was more than welcome to come down here. She was not interested, so that's
Oh, you just got a spike.
oh whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It spiked to like 0.08.
It's hard to actually watch it while you're filming and watching your footing. You want to come around here, Amanda?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to leave you over there.
I definitely tell you I have like a sick feeling down here. I don't like it.
For me, it's like since upstairs, it just kind of feels heavy, like in my chest. Like breathing wise. It does feel a little, my breathing feels a little hindered. Wow. Look at those. So if anybody's here, we're still running EVP. If you have anything you'd like to say, any communication that you'd like to be made, you can do that now. We'll be running a spirit box soon. You see what's holding this house up, guys? That's how old this place is. Obviously, you can tell, you know, they're doing work to it. They're renovating, but look at these beams holding this up. Oh, it's part of the house here. Just running water, I'm assuming. Oh, just got a spike here. Sorry guys, I keep missing it. It did spike up to 3, went down to 1, and then it disappeared. It's hard to, I'll try to keep it in the shot if I can. There we go. I'm gonna make my way back over to the other side, then we can start a spirit box session. Amanda doesn't like to be last, so you can go ahead and get in front of me.
Thank you.
Alright. Is there someone in here that would like to communicate? Behind me?
Stop.
Oh no.
Stop. I heard
Okay.
that one, and I'm all
Yeah.
over here.
That's very clear. Would you like to give us your name? It was just one solid response
Yes,
in the middle of
just
nothing.
behind me.
Oh my gosh.
2.5. It just spiked at 2.5 a moment later.
Did it?
Yeah.
Would you like to say anything to me? What is your name? It sounded like somebody just tried to yell a name.
Mm-hmm.
Are you upset that we're in here?
How many people are down here with us?
Is there anyone down here? Is there anyone down here that wants to speak with us? Say something to me? What are you trying to say to us? Oh,
Watch out for the spiders.
there's like something in my hair. What would you like to say to us? Are you okay communicating with us? Is that a no?
Might have been.
You seem to get a lot of activity.
That
Wow.
was a loud voice right there.
Hello? Hello. This is right where I heard it the first time, too.
It's like someone hangs out right in this room.
I'm freaked out all just being in here, man.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the creepier basements I've been in. Can you say your name? What's your name? So I wanted to do a lone EVP over here so that it's just me, I'm vulnerable, and if there's something here that wants to communicate, maybe it'll be more comfortable communicating with me by myself. Is there anybody in here that wants to say something? Does anybody want to communicate in here? We're just looking for evidence that there is spirits here and trying to get some answers to some things. We want to know if people are buried under here. Will you remain scattered in a way that you are not okay with? Did you just hear that? What was that? It literally, it almost sounded like a breath.
Really?
Now we're gonna move our way on over to the Eagle Hotel. So let's get it.
It was my friend's call. There was Colleen, Jason, and Christine. And then I had my daughter Time, Christine's daughter Amber, and then my friend Mary. We were in here investigating. We're in the dining room. Colleen's standing here in the dining room. And she had one of those laser temperature gun things.
Mm-hmm.
And she's standing here with it. And she's talking to as though it's a child in here. And she's holding the temperature gun with the laser beam. And she's like, walk in front of it. If you walk in front of it, the temperature will drop. Sure enough, the temperature would drop like 6 degrees and then go back up again. And she's like, oh my God, do that again, just keep walking in front of this red light, this toy that I have. Sure enough, temperature would drop like 6 or 7 degrees, go back up again. This went on for a while. And she kept talking to it like it's a child, and just keep going in front of it. Oh, this toy is so neat, it's got this red light on it, So then we decided to change rooms. So Colleen, with the temperature gun, goes downstairs in the basement with Christine and Jason. My daughter Time was in here with Amber. And me and Mary were upstairs. Next thing I know, up come Colleen, Christine, and Jason. They're shaking. Christine and Jason said they were standing there and it looked like a white mist was going around the two of them and they could feel a tug on their shirts. And Colleen says she's standing there with that temperature gun doing the same thing again, walk in front of it, She's feeling somebody tugging on it, trying to take it out of her hand. She's like, I swear to God, something was tugging on that thing and trying to take it out of my hand. And just then, Amber and Time were like, oh, when you were in the basement, we were telling the child, that lady that has that toy that you like so much, she's downstairs, you can go ahead and take it. And it actually had a camera in the room on them, showing them saying this. We had no idea that they said this. Yeah, I mean, she swears up and down something was trying to take the thing out of her hand, and she's like fighting for it. And then to find out that they had said that, and I have it on camera that they did say it. So that's kind of cool.
Nuts. So right now, guys, we are headed into the Eagle Hotel. As you can see, it's dark out. We just got done investigating the Judson House. So we're real excited to make our way through here and explore it.